Right now on ZBTV1, this is the latest episode of Truckin' It, talking about rules and regulations on both my social media feed and in the handbook. Then, stay tuned for a premiere tomorrow of a new show that will be debuting right here on ZBTV1. Dear friends and followers, welcome back to my channel. Greetings from home. I hope y'all are doing amazing out there. And today, I had some stuff happen on my Instagram feed this morning that reminded me we need to bring up some of the things that you absolutely hate. And I know these things because it's not just you, it's every driver in America that hates these. They are things called rules and regulations. And coming up on Truckin' It, we're going to talk about that. A few rules that apply to my social media feeds, as well as some place where those feeds are actually featured. And we're also going to talk about the D.O.T handbook. Here's a hint. Let's just double the thickness of this camera manual, and that's just their pocket guide coming up. Hello, and I'm Zach Bell. This is Truckin' It. And I need to address a few things here on this channel, as well as lay down the law. And it's not just, this video is not just going to be posted on YouTube. It may also be posted on Instagram as well. Just to make you aware that you are my problem right now. Let's talk about rules and regulations. Okay, see that little poster behind me that says, "Notice, in this household we say, Merry Christmas. One nation under God. We salute the flag. We support our troops. And if all this offends you, leave." That's kind of like the rules and regulations that cover my use of that camera that's alongside me here. Well, if I can just point my phone at it. That's a Canon 77D. This little book right here tells me how to use this camera that's right here. And you can see it's pretty thick. It's about half the thickness of the D.O.T handbook. Okay? If you're getting into trucking, let me make you aware of something here. There's going to be a lot more rules and regulations than you can shake a stick at. Things like hours of service, vehicle maintenance, keeping your record clean, types of violations. That's all governed in the handbook. And I can give you a link to a website where you can find out more on how to get that handbook and what kind of rules and regulations I'm talking about here. I'll put that in the description below. But for now, let's talk about the rules that govern my channel. First, if you're going to message me, I can look up where you are from pretty dadgum easily if you are going to message my phone. In addition to that, I can tell already that some of y'all have decided to show me cleavage when really I'm not wanting that stuff on my channel. So ground rule number one is you have to keep your profile clean if you're going to want me to follow you back. That means no cleavage, no exposed breasts, no fisheye shots of your buttocks, and none of these stupid selfies. Okay? I want a good selfie, and when I say good, I mean you hold your camera at a distance, kind of like what I'm doing with this video. I actually have it set up on a tripod for a reason. And that you, pun intended, actually know how to work a camera, and perhaps you're a photographer. If you don't know how to do that stuff, get off my feed right now. Because your phone and your lack of knowledge of composition is just as bad as me not knowing regulations in a handbook. That's just for starters. Number 2. So, no cleavage. Period. That means no pornography, no exposed butts, no exposed breasts, and none of those fisheye shots that you're doing now. And that's for both your profile picture and on your wall. Number 2, if your profile is private, you better make it public so I can see what you're doing. Now, I know Facebook has a friends only feature, which is really cool. If I've already friended you in person. But if I have not, please make your shots visible so I can see what you're doing. I'm not at all ashamed of my stuff. I'm just not. Because the stuff that I do is pretty awesome. And I don't know any single one of you that's had your shots featured on TV stations, in magazines, and at the front of house at a worship service. I can honestly say that I have. I've had a shot of a truck featured in Overdrive magazine. I've had shots of snowfall and sunsets featured on TV stations. The snowfall shots were at WCIA TV in Champaign, Illinois. And the sunset shot was right after I got my first Canon Rebel at KXAS TV in Fort Worth, Texas. By none other than the senior man himself. The 45-year veteran, senior meteorologist, Doppler David Finfrock. Okay? A man whose work is really awesome and can't be beat by any other station in town. And yes, I jokingly call him Doppler, but he really is that good. And even so, nobody can get the forecast right. Number 3. Tying in with number 2 here. There may be some kids watching my feed. Just go check the Parker County Cowboy Church, or PC3 for short, youth page. And you will see that there are dozens of kids that follow that group, who in turn follows me. So, this applies to both rules 1 and 2. You better show me your work, and you better make sure to keep it clean. Easy enough. Oh. So show me your work, keep it clean. Remember, my page is being followed by kids, media, and the D.O.T. Not just you. And number 4 is that if you want to participate in discussions, you got to keep your comments clean. Okay? If I give a police officer a bad comment on the side of the road, he's going to give me some really harsh feedback. I kid you not. Same goes for you posting on my feed. And if you don't believe me, I've got a bunch of guys that critique my work. I've had my work critiqued by none other than Joe Edelman out of Allentown, Pennsylvania. Just once in his Tog Chat group. But that was enough. And that was when his Tog Chat group was getting first started. Just a little while back. I broke the ground rules in that group. But he informed me. He says, Zach, are you a professional at this? I mean, I don't want any more cowboys in my group. And later on, he used some inspiration from that shot to go do a shoot of his own that really turned out stunning. Out in the Arizona desert with some fellow photographers who happen to have Olympus cameras. If I can do it, if I'm getting exposure on that level, okay, you have the responsibility to keep your stuff clean on my channel. And if you don't like that policy, you can always leave. So that I don't have to throw you the block or the unfollow hammers. Okay? So let's make sure we're following the rules, both D.O.T. and on my channel. And let's make sure, and also on my Instagram feed, my Facebook feed, my Twitter feed, and even on dating sites like Tinder. And if you want to show me your breasts, Tinder's the site where you want to go. And I will verify your phone number and background information, and I will make sure that you are legit before I follow you back. So, let's keep the content clean, y'all. Let's follow the rules, and nobody gets kicked off. Let's make your best trip your next trip. Keep learning, keep thinking, keep on trucking. And I'll see you on the next round. Hopefully not involving a panic at the Costco. Bye for now.